There, this is Kent, and I'm talking to you live on location at McDonald's restaurant. And I just came down here because I wanted to cash in my coupons actually on that Monopoly thing. I have my Monopoly game board here. You seen this? Monopoly game board. In the Monopoly game, I've actually won 4 things, and I have 3 of them right here. I got my small soft drink, I got my complimentary small fries, and my cheeseburger. So good. Well, so McDonald's-y good. Anyway, so I wanted to talk to you about Monopoly and do these little videos about youth work. I want to thank you so much for being a youth worker at our church, working with students from Emmanuel. And the word monopoly means all of. It means that you have everything. It means you have total control. If you ever played the game Monopoly, it takes a long time to play a full game. But when you get to the end, someone owns all the houses, all the hotels, all the property, and everyone submits to them because they don't own anything. And I just wanted to remind you all that the Bible says that we are bought with a price, that we are not our own. And part of our service to Christ is the joy of partnering with Him and other people on a team to do His work. And I just want to make sure that you know that our lives are His, and I have to remind myself this from time to time, just saying, God, my life is yours. And I just want to encourage you to think that through a little bit, even this week, to say, God, I want you to have a monopoly on my life. You have everything. You own me. You own my time, my resources, my future, my hopes and my dreams, and you'd submit everything over to Him, that He would truly have the monopoly on everything in your life. So I just want to encourage you and challenge you with that. Also, as it relates to youth ministry, I wanted to say one thing about Monopoly, is that we do not have a monopoly on our kids' time. We know that our youth group is not the only way that people grow spiritually. In fact, it might not even be the best way. And we just have to remember that we don't have a monopoly on the kids' spiritual growth, and we are actually in a partnership with parents, of course with God, but really with parents as in the day-to-day life. And those of you that are parents, you know that there's a spiritual responsibility for parents, and we at church here just support that and come alongside and shed a light. So that's kind of just an encouragement on those 2 things. First of all, that you would give God first priority in your own life and give Him everything. You'd remember that we don't have a monopoly, so I say that just to take a little bit of pressure off. The youth ministry should be fun, and we're coming alongside, and we have a burden for our kids, but we know that God is the one that has to do the life change, and we want to support parents and what they're doing as well. So it's not that we should back off, but we should pursue kids, but knowing that we don't have a monopoly on their time. And we just have to pray for them, that as they're on sports teams or as they have other dance or other interests, or if they miss for a few weeks, that God is still working in their lives. And one life group thing, a little life group moment here I just wanted to add on to is last time I talked about the 50-50 rule, that you should talk maybe only 50% of the time if possible. I know that doesn't always work, but at our junior high meeting this week, we someone came across the idea of giving the paper to one of the kids and let them lead. Well, that was a fantastic idea. Another great idea that I wanted to pass on to everybody was the idea of dimming the lights possibly in your area, might make it easier for some people to talk. And another thing I wanted to add, what I've been thinking about, is the 2-question rule. Just the idea that when you ask a question to a kid, be ready with a follow-up question, because that really shows that you're interested in them and want to find out what the answer is. So an example of that would be, say, hey, how was your week? They say it was good, and then you could say, well, what was the best part of it? Or they might say, oh, I'm just doing terrible at chemistry. And they say, oh, is everyone doing bad in your class, or do you feel like you're just doing really bad? Or can you get some help from that? Or if you ask a follow-up question to whatever you asked the first time, it really communicates care and interest, and it shows that you're really listening. And so I think you should try that the next time you have life group or talking to a kid one-on-one, just sort of mingling. Don't just try with 1 question, but be ready with 2. And I think that'll help conversation, and it shows that you're interested. So that's all I have, just Monopoly. God owns you. Second thing is we don't have a monopoly on kids' time, and we can support parents and support kids the best that we can, come alongside families. And then the third thing is that 2-question rule. I just want to encourage you to think about when you talk the next time in life groups, how do I have a follow-up question, a second thing that I could ask kids? So I'm going back to my McDonald's food, and maybe we could do lunch together sometime, eat here, somewhere better. You pick. So let me know if you want to do lunch sometime, youth leaders, and have a great day. Thanks.